What if I told you that the secret to living your best life, to truly unlocking your potential, is realizing one brutally honest truth? Nobody cares. Yes, you heard that right. But here's the twist. This isn't a setback. It's your greatest liberation. The moment you stop seeking validation from the world around you is the moment you can finally start living on your own terms. Imagine breaking free from the chains of other people's expectations, embracing your own journey, and turning your pain into power. In today's video, we're diving deep into 7 game-changing lessons from Buddhism that will help you silence the noise, own your life, and focus on what truly matters. Get ready, because this is the shift you've been waiting for. 1. Nobody cares, and that's liberating. The first lesson may be a bit difficult to accept at first, but trust me when I say it can bring you an incredible sense of freedom. Nobody cares. Now, I understand that this may sound harsh or even hurtful, but let's break it down because, in reality, it's one of the most liberating truths you can embrace. Here's why. Most people, whether it's your friends, family, or even strangers, are deeply focused on their own lives. They are caught up in their own challenges, fears, dreams, and worries. It's natural. Everyone is walking their own path, dealing with their own issues, and pursuing their own goals. As a result, they aren't giving as much thought to you or your every move as you may think. And here's the good news. That's actually a blessing. It means you don't have to constantly live your life in fear of other people's opinions, judgments, or expectations. You're free from the invisible pressure of trying to be someone you're not just to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. The reality is, people's thoughts and judgments are fleeting. They come and go, and in the grand scheme of things, they don't define your worth. The moment you accept that nobody is paying as close attention to you as you might have believed, you'll feel a shift. You'll stop spending so much mental energy trying to gain validation from external sources, whether it's through likes, approval, or recognition from others. Instead, you'll start focusing on what truly matters: your own life, your own journey, and your own growth. This shift allows you to start shaping your life on your own terms, without the constant need to fit into someone else's expectations or standards. You can finally stop trying to conform to a mold that doesn't fit you and begin to carve out your own unique path. You can embrace the freedom to pursue what excites you, to fail without fearing judgment, and to succeed without worrying about what others think. Realizing that nobody cares doesn't mean you have to be selfish or indifferent to others. It simply means you get to put yourself and your own happiness first. You are free to live authentically and unapologetically. It's a powerful realization because it strips away the weight of unnecessary expectations and allows you to be fully present in your own life. So, remember, the next time you start to worry about how others perceive you, remind yourself, nobody cares. And that's liberating because it means you can focus on living your life fully, making decisions that align with who you truly are, and stepping into the version of yourself you've always wanted to become. 2. Your life is 100% your responsibility. The second lesson is empowering, and it's one that truly shifts how you approach life. Your life is 100% your responsibility. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that your success, happiness, or fulfillment depends on external factors, whether that's your family, your job, your friends, or even your circumstances. But the truth is, no one else is responsible for your life but you. This is both a heavy realization and an incredibly freeing one. It means that whatever your situation is right now, whether you're feeling stuck, lost, or unfulfilled, you have the power to change it. It also means that your success or failure is directly tied to the choices you make every single day. This is the heart of personal responsibility. Understanding that, at the end of the day, you are the one who has control over your actions, decisions, and mindset. It's easy to blame others or circumstances for where you are in life. Maybe you blame your upbringing, your job, or people around you for holding you back. But the Buddha teaches that our lives are shaped by our actions and our thoughts. What we choose to focus on, the habits we cultivate, and the energy we put into the world all come back to us. You are the creator of your own reality. When you truly accept that your life is your responsibility, you stop waiting for permission to live the life you want. You stop looking for someone or something to give you the green light. Instead, you step up and take ownership of your path. If you want to improve your health, your career, or your relationships, it's up to you to take the first step. It's not about waiting for the perfect opportunity or for someone else to change things for you. It's about taking action, no matter how small, and moving toward your goals every day. Taking full responsibility for your life also means embracing the good and the bad. Your successes are your victories, but your setbacks and failures are also your own. It's a mindset shift. You stop making excuses or blaming others, and you begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth. You understand that every experience, no matter how difficult, is part of the process of becoming who you're meant to be. This doesn't mean you have to do everything alone or never ask for help. Seeking guidance, advice, or support from others is important. But in the end, the responsibility for your decisions, actions, and outcomes always lies with you. The key is to take ownership of your life, to recognize your power, and to stop waiting for others to change things for you. The power to transform your life is already within you. It's your responsibility to tap into it. 3. Use pain as fuel, not an excuse. The third lesson is one that can change the way you approach hardship and adversity in life. Use pain as fuel, not an excuse. Let's face it, pain, whether emotional, physical, or mental, is an unavoidable part of life. We all go through difficult moments, experience loss, face failure, or feel defeated at times. It's natural. But what separates those who succeed and grow from those who remain stagnant is how they choose to deal with that pain. Instead of allowing pain to hold you back or using it as a reason to quit or give up, you can choose to turn it into something powerful. Buddha himself spoke about suffering as a universal experience. He didn't sugarcoat life. He acknowledged that pain and suffering are part of the human condition. However, he also taught that how we respond to that suffering is what shapes us, and that's where the power lies. When you face pain, it's easy to let it become your excuse to stop trying, to hide away, or to settle for less than what you deserve. But the truth is, pain can also be a catalyst for growth. It can fuel you to become stronger, more resilient, and more determined than ever before. Think about how some of the world's greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders have faced immense pain, but instead of letting it define them in a negative way, they used it to push them to greater heights. Pain can be a powerful teacher. Every hardship, every setback, every moment of frustration carries with it an opportunity for growth if you choose to see it that way. It's in the darkest times that we often find the strength we never knew we had. It's during the toughest battles that we are forced to dig deeper within ourselves and discover new reserves of power, focus, and resilience. The key is to stop using pain as a reason to stop moving forward. Pain doesn't have to be a dead end. It can be a stepping stone to your greatest achievements. When you experience emotional pain, use it to fuel your empathy and compassion for others. When you go through physical pain, let it remind you of your strength and ability to overcome obstacles. When you experience failure, use it to refine your approach, learn, and improve. One of the most powerful aspects of pain is that it reminds us we are alive and that we have the capacity to grow. But that only happens when we stop letting pain control us and instead start using it as a force for good in our lives. Pain can be the spark that ignites change, the reason you start that new project, or the push that helps you climb out of a difficult situation. When you embrace pain in this way, you stop seeing it as a weakness, and instead you see it as a powerful source of energy that propels you forward. You have the choice. Let pain become your excuse to give up, or let it become the fuel that drives you to create the life you desire. The choice is yours, and when you choose to use pain as fuel, you transform it from something that holds you back into something that propels you forward. 4. Silence the noise and focus. Inward. The fourth lesson is about reclaiming your peace and finding clarity. Silence the noise and focus inward. We live in a world filled with constant distractions, from the buzz of social media to the opinions of others, and the endless demands on our time and energy. Everywhere you turn, there's noise. People's expectations, advertisements, unsolicited advice, and the pressure to keep up with others. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by all this external noise, and it can be hard to find peace or clarity when your mind is constantly racing. But Buddhism teaches us that true peace comes not from the outside world, but from within. It's only when we silence the noise around us and focus inward that we can truly hear our own thoughts, desires, and purpose. The Buddha often spoke about the importance of mindfulness, being present and fully aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. In today's world, mindfulness is more important than ever because we're constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and distractions that take us away from what really matters, our inner peace and our connection to our true selves. If you want to make real progress in your life, you must learn to turn off the external noise. This doesn't mean completely isolating yourself from the world, but it does mean consciously choosing to step away from distractions when needed. Set aside time for reflection, meditation, or simply being still. Allow yourself the space to think without the influence of outside voices telling you what to do or who to be. This is where clarity begins, when you stop looking for answers in the noise and start seeking them within. When you focus inward, you're not just blocking out distractions, you're also tuning into your deeper thoughts, feelings, and intuition. This is where you'll find the answers to some of life's most important questions. What do you really want? What are your true values? What makes you feel fulfilled and at peace? The more you focus inward, the more you'll uncover about who you truly are, what drives you, and where you need to go next. One of the biggest challenges in today's world is the pressure to keep up with others. Social media constantly reminds us of what everyone else is doing, what they're buying, where they're going, who they're with. It's easy to get caught up in comparing your journey to someone else's, but the truth is, nobody's life is exactly like yours. Your path is unique, and it's important to honor that. The more you focus inward, the more you realize that what others are doing doesn't define your worth or your purpose. You don't need to constantly measure yourself against others. Instead, measure yourself by how aligned you are with your own goals, values, and sense of purpose. This lesson also teaches us to trust ourselves. In a world that often tells us what to think, what to buy, and what to value, it's easy to lose sight of our own instincts. When we silence the noise and go inward, we begin to hear the quiet, steady voice of our intuition guiding us. Trusting that inner voice is one of the most powerful tools you can use in your life. It will help you make decisions that are true to who you are, rather than what others expect or what seems popular in the moment. The more you practice silencing the noise, the more you'll find peace. It's like clearing away the fog from your mind, allowing you to see things more clearly. The distractions that once seemed so important begin to fade into the background, and your true purpose, desires, and dreams come into focus. So, take the time to quiet your mind, listen to yourself, and remember that the answers you seek are already within you. Once you start focusing inward, you'll realize that the peace you've been searching for has always been there. 5. Stop explaining yourself. Show results. Lesson 5 is one of the most empowering and liberating lessons you can embrace. Stop explaining yourself. Show results. We live in a world where it's easy to feel the need to justify our actions, our choices, and our decisions to others. Whether it's in your career, personal life, or dreams, it's common to feel like you have to explain every step you take, defend every choice you make, and seek validation for your actions. But the truth is, you don't owe anyone an explanation for how you live your life, and here's why. Your results speak louder than words. Too often, we get caught up in the cycle of justifying our actions. You might find yourself constantly explaining why you're doing something, defending your reasons for making certain decisions, or trying to convince others that your way is the right way. While it's natural to seek understanding or approval from others, constantly explaining yourself can take away your power. It can also cause you to become distracted from what truly matters, actually doing the work and achieving results. Buddhism teaches that it's important to live with integrity, which means aligning your actions with your values and your inner truth. You don't need to seek approval from others in order to feel validated. What's more important is that your actions align with your purpose and that you continue moving forward towards your goals, regardless of whether others understand or agree with your choices. The more you focus on explaining and justifying, the less energy you have to actually make progress toward your dreams. Words without action are empty. Instead of spending time explaining yourself, invest that energy into showing results. Results are undeniable. They don't require an explanation because they speak for themselves. People will notice your growth, your achievements, and your dedication without you having to say a word. Whether it's in your career, your fitness journey, or your personal growth, let your results demonstrate who you are and what you're capable of. Let your actions show your commitment, your passion, and your success. When you stop explaining and start showing results, you also stop giving power to external opinions. You no longer need to defend your choices or justify your progress to anyone. People will either respect you for the work you put in, or they won't. And that's okay. What matters is that you're living authentically, in alignment with your purpose, and doing the work that leads to meaningful results. By focusing on results, you also remove the noise of comparison and judgment. Instead of trying to convince others that your path is valid, you focus on walking that path with confidence and determination. Your success will naturally speak volumes, and the right people, those who are aligned with your values, will see it, appreciate it, and respect it. Your journey is about proving to yourself, not to others, that you are capable of creating the life you want. So, the next time you find yourself explaining why you're doing something or justifying your actions to others, take a step back and remind yourself that you don't need anyone's approval. Focus on the work, focus on the results, and let them do the talking. Results are the ultimate form of validation, and they don't need words to be understood. 6. Comfort is the enemy of growth. The sixth lesson is one that can be difficult to hear, but incredibly valuable once you understand it. Comfort is the enemy of growth. We live in a world that often encourages us to seek comfort. It's natural to want to feel safe, secure, and at ease. and many people spend their lives striving to create a comfortable existence. But the truth is, if you want to grow, evolve, and achieve something truly extraordinary, you must be willing to leave your comfort zone behind. Think about it. Growth never happens when things are easy. Real growth, the kind that leads to meaningful change in your life, happens when you face challenges, stretch your limits, and push past the boundaries of what you already know. The moment you seek comfort is the moment you stop challenging yourself. Comfort, in many ways, is a form of stagnation. It's the place where you stop growing because everything feels familiar, predictable, and effortless. Buddhism teaches us about the nature of suffering, but it also teaches us that we must face discomfort in order to transcend it. The Buddha himself lived through many challenges, endured hardship, and faced difficult truths. But he understood that suffering is a part of the path to enlightenment. It is through the discomfort of life's challenges that we discover new strengths, gain wisdom, and become more resilient. Without discomfort, we would never have the opportunity to grow. The truth is, staying in your comfort zone keeps you stuck. If you only do what you already know, take the same paths you've always taken, and avoid anything that feels challenging or unfamiliar, you won't experience any real growth. Growth requires stepping into the unknown, trying new things, and taking risks, even when it feels uncomfortable. When you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you force yourself to adapt, learn, and develop new skills. The discomfort of stepping into something new forces you to become resourceful, creative, and open to change. It challenges your fears and doubts, and it tests your ability to cope with uncertainty. Every time you step outside of your comfort zone, you become stronger, more capable, and more confident in your ability to handle the unknown. It's easy to tell ourselves that we deserve rest, that we've worked hard enough, and that it's time to relax. But the truth is, too much comfort can lead to complacency. It can make you forget what you're truly capable of. Comfort can make you forget that you're meant for more than just the routine and predictable. It keeps you stuck in a cycle where you're not truly challenging yourself to reach your full potential. Think about the greatest achievements of humanity. Whether it's inventing new technologies, creating masterpieces of art, or overcoming personal struggles, none of these feats were achieved by staying in the comfort zone. They were achieved by those who took risks, faced challenges head-on, and embraced discomfort in the pursuit of something greater. If you're serious about growth, it's time to look at comfort differently. Instead of seeing it as a reward or an end goal, start to view discomfort as a sign that you're on the right path. The more you step out of your comfort zone, the more you'll discover about yourself, your strengths, your resilience, and your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. This doesn't mean you have to throw yourself into extreme discomfort all the time, but it does mean you need to regularly challenge yourself, push your boundaries, and take steps that make you feel uncomfortable. Whether it's starting a new project, trying a new skill, speaking up for yourself, or pursuing a goal that scares you, you'll find that discomfort is the birthplace of your greatest growth. Growth is never easy, but it's always worth it. So the next time you feel that pull to stay comfortable, remember this: comfort is the enemy of growth. Seek the discomfort that pushes you forward, that teaches you new things, and that helps you become the person you were meant to be. Embrace the challenges, face the discomfort, and trust that on the other side, you will emerge stronger and more capable than ever. 7. You owe it to yourself to win. The seventh and final lesson is one that speaks to your deepest sense of self-worth and potential. You owe it to yourself to win. This lesson is about recognizing your value and taking responsibility for your own success. So often in life, we find ourselves waiting for external validation, approval from others, or the perfect circumstances to give us permission to succeed. But the truth is, nobody else is going to create the life you deserve. That responsibility belongs to you. When you understand that you are worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment, it shifts the way you approach your goals. Too many people hold themselves back, whether out of fear, self-doubt, or the belief that they're not good enough. But the Buddha spoke of self-compassion and self-realization, encouraging each person to see their intrinsic value and power. You are not defined by your past mistakes, by the opinions of others, or by the circumstances you've been dealt. You are defined by the choices you make today, the actions you take now, and the determination you have to create a life of purpose. The idea that you owe it to yourself to win means that you're no longer waiting for someone else to believe in you or give you permission. You don't need the approval of others to chase your dreams. Your success doesn't depend on anyone but you. This is about recognizing that your dreams are valid and that you deserve to achieve them, no matter the obstacles in your way. We often hear the phrase, "I'll be happy when," or "I'll do this once I'm ready." But in reality, there is no perfect time to start. There's no moment in life when the stars align and everything falls into place. If you wait for the ideal conditions, you might wait forever. The key to winning is taking action now, no matter how imperfect or uncertain it may feel. Progress comes from the courage to move forward, even in the face of fear or doubt. It comes from trusting that you are capable, that you are enough, and that your dreams are worth pursuing. Winning doesn't mean perfection, and it doesn't mean that everything will always go smoothly. It's not about avoiding failure or obstacles, because those are a natural part of the process. Winning means showing up every day, putting in the work, and making the decision to keep going, no matter what. Winning means not giving up on yourself, even when things get tough or when others tell you that it's not possible. It's about believing that you are worthy of success and that you have the strength to make it happen. You owe it to yourself to win because nobody else is going to do it for you. No one is going to come and hand you the life you want, the career you desire, or the happiness you deserve. It's up to you to take that first step, to stay committed to your goals, and to push through the challenges. You don't have to wait for permission or approval. You are already capable of creating the life you want. Your dreams are valid, and your efforts are worth it. And here's something even more important. Winning is not just about achieving external success. It's about winning internally. It's about developing the confidence, the strength, and the resilience to keep moving forward in the face of adversity. It's about cultivating a mindset that says, "I am worthy of success, I am capable of greatness, and I will not stop until I achieve my goals." Winning is not only about what you accomplish, but also about who you become in the process. You owe it to yourself to create a life that reflects your worth and your potential. This is your journey, and you are the one who has the power to shape it. No one else can walk this path for you, and no one else can take responsibility for your success. It's yours to claim. So, stop waiting for permission. Stop doubting your worth. You owe it to yourself to win, and that means taking consistent action toward your goals, regardless of how difficult it might be. The path will be tough at times, but it's through overcoming those challenges that you'll discover what you're truly capable of. Keep going, keep believing, and remember that the victory is yours to achieve.